When most people think of animation, they picture comforting childhood memories, singing animals, happy endings, and stories that wrap up neatly with a smile. But buried beneath the glossy surface of mainstream animation lies a world far stranger, darker, and more unsettling than most could imagine. From experimental European art films to violent Japanese nightmares and surreal Eastern fairy tales, these forgotten animations push the limits of what the medium can express. Some are poetic, others grotesque, but every single one of them will leave an image in your mind that you'll never quite shake. So dim the lights and prepare for a journey through the uncanny valleys of animated history. These are bizarre cartoons from the past that will haunt your dreams. 10. The Story of Hong Gil-dong, 1967. We begin in South Korea with a hidden gem that predates the anime boom yet feels astonishingly modern. The story of Hong Gil-dong is one of the earliest feature-length Korean animations, inspired by a legendary folk hero often compared to Robin Hood. Hong Gil-dong is a gifted outcast who rebels against a corrupt government to defend the poor. But this isn't just a heroic tale. The film's atmosphere is strange and heavy, filled with mystical duels, demonic creatures, and surreal landscapes that twist Korean folklore into something dreamlike and eerie. The animation style, though rough, carries a distinct psychedelic charm, full of bold colors and fluid movement. Beneath its mythic exterior lies a haunting meditation on rebellion, destiny, and what it means to be human in an unjust world. It's not just a relic, it's a ghost from the dawn of Korean animation. 9. Bubble Bath, 1979. Next up, we dive into the fever dream of Hungarian animation. Bubble Bath, or Habfurdo, is a wildly experimental musical that feels like a love story trapped inside a hallucination. The plot follows a man torn between his fiancée and a mysterious woman he meets by chance, but the narrative quickly dissolves into surreal chaos. The backgrounds melt, the characters stretch and warp, and jazz-fueled music drives the madness forward. This film is a kaleidoscope of movement and color, part romance, part existential meltdown. It's like watching a painting come undone before your eyes. Even today, it feels ahead of its time, a piece of animation that defies logic and narrative, existing purely as an emotional, visual, and auditory experience. 8. Peter No-Tail in America, 1985. On the surface, Peter No-Tail in America looks like a harmless children's film about a tailless cat on an adventure in the United States. But beneath its cheerful Swedish exterior lies something bizarrely cynical. The film follows Peter, an outsider cat, as he travels to America, a land of supposed opportunity, only to find prejudice, corruption, and disillusionment waiting for him. It's a film that hides social commentary beneath the guise of cute animal antics. The American dream becomes a nightmare of exploitation and alienation, and even the animation reflects this tonal dissonance, bright and cheerful one moment, uncanny and off-kilter the next. It's an oddly unsettling film, and one that says more about cultural identity than you might expect from a movie about cats. 7. The Curse of Kazuo Umezu, 1990. If you're a fan of Japanese horror manga, you might recognize the name Kazuo Umezu, the godfather of grotesque. This anthology film adapts two of his short stories, The Promise and The Snake Girl, bringing his twisted imagination to life in animated form. The result is pure nightmare fuel. Every frame drips with eerie tension, distorted faces, melting bodies, and shadowy hallways that seem alive. What makes it truly disturbing isn't just the imagery, it's the oppressive atmosphere. The pacing is slow, deliberate, and suffocating, like being trapped inside a fever dream. Though relatively unknown outside Japan, The Curse of Kazuo Umezu captures the unsettling essence of horror that doesn't rely on jump scares but on dread, decay, and the quiet terror of things left unseen. Six. Baoh, The Visitor, 1989. Before JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, creator Hirohiko Araki made this hyper-violent one-shot anime about a young man infected by a parasitic organism that gives him superhuman abilities and a thirst for destruction. Baoh, The Visitor is a visual overload of 80s excess, glowing energy blasts, grotesque transformations, and gallons of animated blood. It's pure pulp, full of absurd dialogue and neon gore. But what makes it bizarre is its unapologetic extremity. Every scene feels like it was drawn by someone who had just discovered what adrenaline looks like. While forgotten by most, it's a cult artifact of Japan's wildest animation era, brutal, bombastic, and bizarrely beautiful in its chaos. Five. The Son of the Stars, 1988. Hailing from Romania, The Son of the Stars, Fiul Stellalor, is a film that looks like it came from another dimension entirely. Combining space opera, fantasy, and surreal mysticism, it tells the story of a young boy stranded on an alien world after his parents' spaceship crashes. He grows up among strange creatures, discovering cosmic powers and ancient civilizations that blur the line between myth and science fiction. The animation feels like something you'd find in a dream, fluid, glowing, and constantly morphing. The sound design only adds to the alien feeling, mixing electronic music with ethereal chanting. It's one of those films that seem to exist in the subconscious of Eastern European animation, a psychedelic odyssey through stars and nightmares. Four. The Journey to Melonia, 1989. Loosely inspired by Shakespeare's The Tempest, this Swedish animated masterpiece reimagines the classic tale as a surreal eco-fantasy. On the utopian island of Melonia, magical beings live in harmony until a greedy industrial empire sets its eyes on exploiting it. The Journey to Melonia blends breathtaking, hand-painted visuals with haunting social commentary. The characters are whimsical, yet melancholic, and the film's message about pollution and greed hits surprisingly hard for an animated feature from the 80s. What makes it bizarre is its tone. It oscillates between charming fairy tale and dystopian nightmare, with visual metaphors that feel almost prophetic. It's the kind of movie that feels timeless and disorienting, like a dream you're not sure you ever had. Three. Magnetic Rose, 1995. This haunting short film from the Memories anthology is one of anime's greatest psychological horror experiences. Directed by Koji Morimoto and written by Akira's Katsuhiro Otomo, it tells the story of a group of space salvagers who respond to a distress signal only to find themselves trapped in a decaying space station haunted by the ghost of an opera singer. The visuals are breathtaking, gothic interiors floating in the vacuum of space, fading holograms and decaying grandeur. What makes Magnetic Rose unforgettable is its emotional weight. Beneath the horror, lies a tragic story of obsession, loss, and memory. It's a visual opera of madness and longing, a rare mix of beauty and terror that lingers long after the credits roll. 2. Son of the White Mare, 1981. A cosmic myth rendered in blazing color and abstract form, Son of the White Mare is a Hungarian legend brought to life through animation so vivid it feels alive. The story follows Tree Shaker, a demigod born from a horse goddess, as he ventures into the underworld to battle dragons and free lost souls. But plot is secondary here. The film is a visual symphony of movement, color, and rhythm. Every frame explodes with psychedelic imagery, glowing reds and electric blues, transforming myth into pure animation. This isn't just a movie, it's an experience, one that feels simultaneously ancient and futuristic. Son of the White Mare is often called one of the most beautiful animated films ever made, and watching it feels like staring into the beating heart of a dream. 1. Kite, 1998. At number 1, we have one of the most infamous and haunting anime ever made. Kite follows Sawa, a young assassin manipulated by corrupt men who exploit her childhood trauma. What begins as a gritty revenge thriller quickly devolves into a disturbing exploration of violence, control, and lost innocence. The animation is stunningly detailed, neon-lit cityscapes, visceral action sequences, but it's the tone that sticks with you. Cold, isolating, and merciless. Kite shocked audiences for its unflinching portrayal of exploitation and moral decay. Censored, banned, and yet unforgettable, it stands as one of the boldest examples of animation refusing to play by anyone's rules. It's the kind of film that crawls under your skin and refuses to leave, a dark masterpiece that truly earns its place among bizarre cartoons that will haunt your dreams. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden corners of cinema, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and most importantly, subscribe to Cinemira for more strange, forgotten, and fascinating films. Your support keeps this adventure alive. And trust me, there's so much more to discover together.